Let me ask you something. How long have you been waiting for change? How many nights have you laid in bed, frustrated, knowing deep down that there's more in you, more strength, more power, more purpose? But let me tell you this, change doesn't happen by accident. You can't sit and wait for life to shift. You have to take action. For the next 7 days, I'm challenging you to step into transformation. Not next year, not next month, not even next week, right now. If you're tired of feeling stuck, if you're ready to break cycles, if you're ready to rise into the person you were meant to be, then this challenge is for you. Over the next 7 days, we are going to break mental chains, shift habits, clean up our environment, and step into the life we were created for. Are you ready? Because I promise you this, if you commit to this challenge, you won't recognize yourself in 7 days. Somebody say, let's go. Everything in your life, everything begins with a decision, not luck, not chance, not waiting on the right time, a decision. The moment you decide that you will no longer stay where you are, something powerful begins to shift in your life. But until you make that decision, nothing changes. Some of you have been praying for change, hoping for change, begging for change, but you haven't yet decided that you're done living the way you've been living. You haven't fully committed to the process of transformation. And let me tell you, nothing moves until you move. Think about it. Every successful person, every great leader, every person who ever broke free from struggle had to come to a defining moment where they said, enough is enough. I refuse to live like this any longer. I am making a decision to be better, to do better, to rise higher. That moment, that defining decision, is what separates those who stay stuck from those who step into their destiny. You cannot afford to be indecisive about your life. Indecision is a silent killer. It robs you of opportunities, it steals your time, and it keeps you in a cycle of frustration. Some of you have been stuck not because you don't have the potential, not because you aren't capable, but because you refuse to make a decision. You're waiting for a sign, waiting for someone to push you, waiting for the perfect moment, but the perfect moment will never come. You must create the moment. The truth is, the life you want is on the other side of a single decision. The decision to let go of fear, the decision to walk away from toxic relationships, the decision to stop doubting yourself, the decision to believe that you were created for more. Every breakthrough starts with a made-up mind. And let me tell you, making a decision isn't just about saying, I want to change. It's about being so firm in your choice that nothing, no distraction, no delay, no discouragement can pull you away from it. Because the moment you decide, life will test you, people will question you, doubts will creep in, obstacles will rise up. But when your decision is firm, unshakable, and unwavering, no storm, no setback, no struggle can stop you. Some of you have been playing with change. You've been interested in growth, but not committed to it, and there's a difference. Interested people do what's easy, but committed people do what's necessary. Interested people quit when it gets tough, but committed people push through. Interested people make excuses, but committed people make a way. So today is the day you must ask yourself, are you ready to decide? Are you ready to put your foot down and say, this is my moment. I will not stay where I am. I will not let another year pass me by. I am making a decision and I will stand on it. Because when you truly make a decision, a real deep, unshakable decision, nothing and no one can stop you. Your mind is the battlefield where every victory and every defeat takes place. Before your life can change, your mind has to change. You cannot step into a new season, a new level, or a new opportunity if your thoughts are still trapped in the past. The greatest prison is not made of metal bars. It is built inside your own mind. Some of you are not stuck because you don't have the ability to move forward. You are stuck because you have been programmed to believe that you can't. You have been conditioned by past failures, by negative words, by disappointments, by circumstances that told you this is just the way life is. And because you believed it, You have been living it. But hear me today, what you believe becomes what you experience. If you believe you are not good enough, you will shrink in every room you walk into. If you believe you are a failure, you will sabotage every opportunity that comes your way. If you believe that you will always struggle, you will make choices that keep you in struggle. Your mind creates your reality. Many of you have been living under the weight of mental chains that were placed on you by other people. Maybe someone told you as a child that you weren't smart enough, and you've been carrying that lie ever since. Maybe a teacher, a friend, or even a parent spoke doubt into your future, and you accepted it as truth. Maybe life knocked you down so many times that you stopped believing that getting up was even possible. But let me tell you something, just because someone said it doesn't make it true. Just because you failed before doesn't mean you will fail again. Just because you've been struggling doesn't mean you were meant to stay there. You have been living under a mindset that is too small for the life you were created for. Your mind is powerful. It is the control center of your actions, your emotions, and your decisions. If you can change your mind, you can change your entire life. You have to start challenging every limiting belief that has been holding you back. Who told you that you couldn't do it? Who told you that you would always be broke? Always be broken, always be behind? Those are mental chains, and today they have to break. Fear is a mental chain. It tells you that stepping out of your comfort zone is dangerous, that trying something new will lead to failure, that dreaming big is foolish, but fear is a liar. Fear will keep you in a cage that doesn't even have a lock on it. The only thing stopping you from walking out is the belief that you can. Doubt is a mental chain. It creeps in when you start to believe in yourself, whispering, what if you fail? What if you're not good enough? What if people laugh at you? But let me tell you something, doubt only has power when you listen to it. The moment you shut it down and replace it with faith, your whole perspective shifts. Comparison is a mental chain. Some of you can't move forward because you are too busy looking at someone else's journey. You measure your progress against theirs and decide that you are behind, that you are not as good, that you will never catch up, but their path is not your path. You are running your own race, and as long as you are moving forward, you are winning. Regret is a mental chain. You keep replaying your past mistakes, your bad choices, your missed opportunities, as if dwelling on them will somehow change them. But yesterday is gone. You cannot drive forward while staring in the rearview mirror. Every time you look back, you lose sight of where you are going. You have to renew your mind. You have to start feeding your spirit with new thoughts, new beliefs, new affirmations. You have to start speaking a new language over your life. Stop saying, I can't, and start saying, I can. Start saying, I'll never change, and start saying, I am transforming. Start saying, this is just who I am, and start saying, I am becoming everything I was created to be. Because the moment your mind shifts, everything in your life will begin to shift with it. Your life is not shaped by what you want. It is shaped by what you do consistently. You don't rise to the level of your dreams. You fall to the level of your habits. If you want to change your life, you must first change your habits. Every great person, every successful leader, every powerful individual you admire didn't get to where they are by accident. They built their success one habit at a time. They didn't just wake up one day and suddenly become strong, wise, or disciplined. They did the work daily behind closed doors when nobody was watching. Your habits determine your future. What you do daily shapes who you become permanently. If you wake up every morning complaining, checking social media first thing, procrastinating on your goals, and feeding your mind with negativity, don't be surprised when your life reflects the habits you have cultivated. But if you start your day with prayer, gratitude, discipline, intentionality, and focus, then everything about you begins to shift. Some of you are frustrated with your lack of progress, but the truth is, you have not yet mastered your daily habits. You say you want change, but your habits are still tied to the person you used to be. You cannot step into a new level with the habits of the old you. You cannot walk in purpose while holding on to patterns that keep you stuck. If you want to elevate, you must first evaluate. Take a look at your daily routine. What are you feeding your mind? Are you constantly consuming negativity, gossip, distractions, and things that drain your spirit? Or are you filling yourself with wisdom, knowledge, and inspiration? Because whatever you feed grows, and whatever you starve dies. If you feed doubt, doubt will take over your life. If you feed excuses, excuses will keep you from moving forward. But if you feed faith, discipline, and focus, you will rise. Look at your circle. Who are you spending time with? Because your habits are influenced by the people you surround yourself with. If you are constantly around people who have no vision, no discipline, no hunger for growth, then it won't be long before their habits rub off on you. You cannot soar like an eagle if you keep running with chickens. You need to surround yourself with people who challenge you, who push you, who inspire you to be greater than you were yesterday. Examine how you spend your time. Are you wasting hours scrolling through distractions, watching other people live their dreams while you sit on the sidelines? Are you constantly saying, "I'll do it tomorrow," while days, months, and years pass by? Time is your most valuable resource. Every second wasted is a second you can't get back. If you want to elevate your life, you must take control of your time. And let's talk about discipline, because motivation will fail you. There will be days when you don't feel like it, days when you are tired, days when you want to quit, days when nothing seems to be working. And in those moments, your habits will determine your outcome. Discipline is doing what needs to be done even when you don't feel like it. It is showing up when you are tired, pushing through when you are discouraged, and staying committed even when the excitement is gone. Some of you are waiting to feel ready before you start changing your habits, but let me tell you something, you will never feel ready. You have to start anyway. You have to take control of your habits before your habits take control of you. Because if you don't build good habits, bad habits will build you. Your habits are shaping your future, whether you realize it or not. If you continue with the same routine, making the same choices, living the same way, where will you be in 5 years, in 10? Will you be proud of the person you have become? Or will you look back and wish you had started changing sooner? Because the truth is, the habits you build today will determine the life you live tomorrow. Your environment is either feeding your growth or suffocating it. You cannot become the best version of yourself while staying in the same toxic atmosphere that's been keeping you stuck. If you want to rise higher, if you want to step into a new level, you must detox your environment. Some of you are wondering why you keep struggling with the same battles, the same doubts, the same obstacles. You pray for change. You hope for better. You want to move forward, but every time you take one step ahead, something pulls you back. It's not that you aren't capable. It's not that you aren't ready. It's that your environment is working against your elevation. You cannot grow in the wrong soil. A seed has the potential to become a mighty tree, but if it is planted in dry, toxic, or shallow ground, it will never reach its full potential. And some of you have the gift, the talent, the vision, the hunger to do something great, but you are surrounded by people, places, and influences that are draining your strength. You are trying to grow in poisoned soil. Take a look at your circle. Who are you allowing into your life? Are they pushing you toward purpose, or are they keeping you comfortable in dysfunction? Some of you are holding on to relationships that are stunting your growth. You are connected to people who speak doubt into your dreams, who pull you into negativity, who celebrate your weaknesses but never challenge you to be stronger, and you wonder why you can't move forward? If you are always surrounded by small-minded people, you will always think small. If you spend all your time around people who gossip, complain, and make excuses, you will start to sound just like them. If your friends don't have vision, don't have ambition, then you will slowly start to lower your standards to match theirs. And let's talk about the atmosphere you allow in your space. Some of you wake up every day in a chaotic, cluttered, and stressful environment, and you wonder why you feel drained before the day even begins. Your physical surroundings matter. If you are living in disorder, it will affect your focus. If you are surrounded by distractions, you will struggle to be productive. If your environment is full of reminders of failure, loss, and brokenness, it will be difficult to embrace a mindset of victory. Detoxing your environment isn't just about removing people. It's about removing everything that no longer serves your growth. The music you listen to, the TV shows you binge, the social media accounts you follow, the conversations you engage in. All of these things are shaping your mindset, whether you realize it or not. If you constantly feed yourself with negativity, fear, gossip, and drama, then don't be surprised when your spirit feels heavy and your vision feels unclear. And let's be real, some of you need to detox your thoughts. Because your environment isn't just what's around you, it's also what's inside you, the self-doubt, the insecurity, the negative self-talk. You've been carrying these toxic thoughts for years, and they have been poisoning your progress. You cannot expect to live a victorious life while constantly feeding yourself thoughts of defeat. Some of you need to stop waiting for permission to detox your environment. You keep saying, I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. I don't want to seem mean. I don't want to burn bridges. But hear me. Your future is worth more than someone else's comfort. If they are not helping you grow, if they are keeping you stuck, if they are draining your energy, then it is time to let go. Detoxing isn't easy. It requires honesty. It requires you to take a hard look at what's holding you back and make the necessary cuts. But if you are serious about transformation, if you are serious about stepping into the next level of your life, then you cannot afford to stay in an environment that does not support your growth, because the soil you plant yourself in will determine how high you can grow. Your words have power. Life and death are in the power of the tongue. What you say about yourself, what you declare over your future, what you repeat in your mind day after day, it all shapes your reality. Some of you have been waiting for change, praying for breakthrough, hoping for a shift, but you don't even realize that your words have been working against you. Every time you say, I'm not good enough, you reinforce self-doubt. Every time you say, I'll never get out of this situation, you extend your struggle. Every time you say, this is just the way I am, you lock yourself in the past. Every time you say, I always mess up, you give yourself permission to fail. Your words are either building you up or tearing you down, and too many of you have been speaking death over your own potential without even realizing it. You've been calling yourself weak when God created you to be strong. You've been calling yourself a failure when you were born to win. You've been agreeing with fear, doubt, and insecurity, and now you wonder why your spirit feels heavy. But today, you start speaking life. You must learn to declare victory even when you don't feel victorious. You must learn to speak strength even when you feel weak. You must learn to prophesy over your own future, to affirm who you are becoming, to declare that you are stepping into a new season. Because what you speak, you will see. Look at the people who rise above struggle, the people who refuse to stay stuck, the people who keep moving forward despite obstacles, the people who keep moving forward despite obstacles, the people who seem unshaken even in the midst of storms. Do you know what they have in common? They refuse to let their words betray their destiny. They refuse to allow their tongue to create a reality they don't want to live in. They wake up every day and declare, I am strong, I am capable, I am wise, I am disciplined, I am favored, I am walking in purpose. Some of you have never truly spoken life over yourself. You wait for others to affirm you. You wait for the world to give you permission to be great. But what if I told you that your next level is waiting on your own words? What if I told you that the shift you are praying for will begin when you start speaking differently? It's not about lying to yourself. It's about aligning your words with your purpose. It's about refusing to let your mouth sabotage what God is trying to do in your life. Because the truth is, your words create your atmosphere. If you constantly say, I'm tired, I'm stressed, I can't handle this, then your body, your mind, and your emotions will respond to that declaration. But if you wake up and declare, I have strength for today, I have the wisdom to handle every challenge, I have the power to push through, then your spirit will rise to match your words. You must also be careful about what you allow others to speak over you. Not everyone deserves access to your spirit. If someone is always speaking negativity, doubt, and fear over your life, you have every right to reject it. You do not have to agree with words that do not align with your destiny. You must become intentional about what you speak over yourself. Every single day, affirm who you are becoming. Speak over your life with boldness. Speak over your dreams with confidence. Speak over your struggles with faith, because your words will pave the way for your transformation. You can think about change, you can talk about change, you can dream about change, but until you take bold action, nothing in your life will actually change. You have spent too much time waiting for the perfect moment, waiting for the right opportunity, waiting for a sign, waiting for someone to push you, when all along everything you need to step forward has already been placed inside of you. There comes a point where you must decide that thinking is not enough, planning is not enough, preparing is not enough. At some point, you must take action, because transformation does not come from intention alone. It comes from movement. It comes from execution. It comes from stepping out in faith, even when you don't have all the answers. Some of you are stuck not because you don't have the ability, but because you haven't had the courage to act. You have been overanalyzing, overthinking, second-guessing, doubting yourself into inaction. You are waiting for everything to be perfect, waiting for fear to disappear, waiting for the road to be smooth before you take a step. But let me tell you something. Fear does not disappear before you move. Fear disappears because you move. You will never feel ready. You will never feel 100% certain. You will never have every answer in front of you. But what you do have is the ability to take one step, and after that, another. Look around at the people who succeed. They are not always the smartest. They are not always the most talented. They are not always the most qualified, but they are the ones who take action. They are the ones who move when others hesitate. They are the ones who decide that failure is not the worst thing that can happen. Staying stuck is. They understand that mistakes are lessons, that setbacks are setups for comebacks, and that even the smallest step forward is better than standing still. You must develop the mindset of action. You must break the habit of waiting for permission. Too many of you have been waiting for someone to validate your dreams, waiting for someone to tell you it's time, waiting for someone to clear the path for you. But hear me, nobody is coming to save you. Nobody is coming to give you a shortcut. Nobody is coming to force you into your destiny. If you want it, you must go after it with everything inside of you. You say you want to start that business, write that book, go back to school, launch that idea, pursue that dream, but what have you actually done to make it happen? Have you written the plan? Have you taken the first step? Have you done anything beyond just talking about it? Because dreams without action are just wishes. Some of you are afraid of failure, so you do nothing. But let me ask you, what if you fail? So what? Failure is not the end. Failure is a lesson. Failure is experience. Failure is proof that you tried. The only real failure is never trying at all. You must stop seeing failure as a reason to quit and start seeing it as a stepping stone to your breakthrough. And let's talk about excuses. Because some of you have gotten so comfortable with making excuses that you don't even realize how much they are holding you back. You say you don't have enough time, but you spend hours scrolling through distractions. You say you don't have enough money, but you waste what you do have on things that don't serve your future. You say you don't know where to start, but you haven't even tried to find out. Excuses will keep you comfortable in mediocrity. Excuses will rob you of your destiny. Excuses will talk you out of opportunities that were meant for you. But when you drop the excuses and take responsibility for your future, everything shifts. Bold action requires bold faith. You cannot move forward while being held back by doubt. You must believe that what you are stepping into is greater than what you are leaving behind. You must believe that even if you can't see the whole staircase, the first step is still worth taking. You must believe that you were created for more, and then act like it. The time for waiting is over. The time for second guessing is over. The time for excuses is over. If you want to change, if you want to grow, if you want to step into the life you were meant to live, then you must take bold action. Starting now. You have made it through 6 days of transformation, but today is the most important day because today you must decide that this is not just a challenge, it is a lifestyle. Today you must commit to becoming unstoppable. Being unstoppable doesn't mean you won't face obstacles. It doesn't mean you won't have moments of doubt, days of struggle, or seasons of difficulty. Being unstoppable means that no matter what comes against you, you refuse to quit. It means you no longer allow fear to paralyze you, no longer let failure define you, no longer let setbacks stop you. You may bend, but you will not break. You may stumble, but you will not stay down. You may face opposition, but you will not back down. Some of you have spent too long running from your potential, too long letting life dictate your path instead of taking control of your future. Too long letting people's opinions, past mistakes, or temporary circumstances hold you back from stepping into your destiny. But today, something inside of you must rise up. Today, you must make a decision that changes everything. Decide that from this moment on, you will no longer be a prisoner to fear. Fear may knock on your door, but you don't have to open it. Fear may whisper doubts in your ear, but you don't have to listen. Fear may try to convince you that you are not enough, but you must remind fear who you are. You are not weak. You are not broken. You are not defeated. You are powerful, capable, chosen, and called for something greater. Decide that from this moment on, you will stop waiting for permission. Too many of you have been waiting for someone to approve your dreams, validate your goals, or confirm your worth. But hear me. You don't need permission to be great. You don't need approval to walk in purpose. You don't need validation to step into what is already meant for you. When you realize that, you become unstoppable. Decide that from this moment on, you will no longer let failure define you. Failure is not the end, it is a teacher. It is not a sign to quit, it is a sign to adjust, to grow, to learn. Every setback you have faced was not meant to destroy you, it was meant to shape you. Every loss was a lesson, every closed door was redirection, every delay was preparation. Stop running from failure, stop fearing failure, and instead use failure as fuel. Decide that from this moment on, you will show up for yourself. No more waiting for motivation. No more making excuses. No more looking for shortcuts. You must wake up every day and commit to your goals, whether you feel like it or not. Discipline will take you where motivation cannot. Motivation fades, but discipline keeps you moving. Motivation is based on feelings, but discipline is based on commitment. If you stay committed, if you stay consistent, if you stay locked in, nothing can stop you. Decide that from this moment on, you will protect your mind, because an unstoppable person is not just strong physically, they are strong mentally. They do not allow negativity to take root. They do not entertain toxic thoughts. They do not dwell on what they cannot control. They guard their peace. They filter what they allow into their spirit. They stay focused on their mission. Decide that from this moment on, you will stop shrinking to make others comfortable. Some of you have been dimming your light, playing small, holding back, afraid of what people will think if you step into your full potential. But hear me, you were not created to be average. You were not placed on this earth to blend in. You were not given gifts, talents, and dreams just to sit on them. You were meant to shine. You were meant to lead. You were meant to walk in greatness. And when you finally stop apologizing for being who you were created to be, you become unstoppable. You have come too far to stop now. You have been through too much to turn back now. Everything you have endured has been preparing you for this moment. You have fought battles that should have broken you, survived storms that should have drowned you, overcome obstacles that should have stopped you, but you are still here. And because you are still here, that means there is still more for you, more purpose, more strength, more impact, more victory. Becoming unstoppable is not about never falling. It is about never staying down. It is about refusing to settle, refusing to quit, refusing to accept anything less than what you were created for. It is about standing firm, moving forward, and declaring that nothing and no one will stop you from becoming everything you were meant to be. You have walked through 7 days of transformation, 7 days of breaking limits, 7 days of stepping into a new mindset, 7 days of shifting from who you were to who you are becoming. But hear me. This is not the end. This is the beginning. Everything you need to change your life is already inside of you. The power to decide, the strength to break chains, the wisdom to elevate your habits, the courage to detox your environment, the authority to speak life over yourself, the boldness to take action, the fire to become unstoppable. It has always been there. The difference now is that you recognize it. The difference now is that you have activated it. The difference now is that you refuse to let another day go by without walking in it. Some of you started this challenge with doubt, with hesitation, with uncertainty about whether you could truly change. But look at you now. Your mind is different, your energy is different, your vision is different, your confidence is different. And if you continue to nurture what has been planted in you this week, your life will be different. This is not just about 7 days. It is about a lifetime of transformation. It is about making a commitment to yourself every single day that you will not settle for less than what you were created for, that you will not allow fear to steal your destiny, that you will not be a prisoner to your past, that you will not shrink, hesitate, or hold back from the future waiting for you. The road ahead will not always be easy. There will be moments when old habits try to creep back in, moments when doubt whispers in your ear, moments when fear tries to convince you to stop. But you are no longer the same person you were before. You know too much now to go back. You have seen what is possible when you take control of your life. You have felt what it means to step into power. You have tasted what it's like to move with intention, and because of that, you cannot unsee, unknow, or undo the shift that has taken place inside of you.